Hi, this is Jose, your professor for IFSM 201. I've received a couple questions regarding the word assignment, and instead of just adding another announcement with a lot of details that you have to read, I decided to do this video. Hopefully this will get to the point quicker. The first thing I'd like to tell you about the word assignment is that most students, at least in my experience, tend to go straight to the assignments tab and just dive right into the assignment itself. There are some limitations and some problems with that because the courses are designed so that you go through the content stages and through the steps and modules on the content, so you can get not just the assignment itself, but all the information that will help you with the assignment. So if you go to the assignment tab, you will find the case study, part 1, and you will find the attachments. You can also get information as to the rubric I will be using to grade it, which is again very useful information. However, it doesn't give you the details on how to, or you may miss things that are not included in the instruction attachments. So this is what I always recommend in all my courses to all my students. It's really start in the content. In the content, go to the syllabus and basically see what the syllabus says about the assignments. Why is this important? Because it gives you the top level information related to the assignments. It also gives you about requirements that you may not know you're going to need for the assignment. I have assumed that everybody in here is familiar with the syllabus and they have read the software requirements and what to do if you do not have a Windows-based computer, which is also described in the syllabus. In here you will find how they will be graded and what the value of each assignment is. In this case, we're talking about the MS Word assignment, so that's 12% of the grade. And when you go down to the project description, it gives you actually a little bit more details and describes what each assignment is supposed to do. In here, I'd like to highlight that the MS Word assignment and the Access Database assignment are close to each other. So this is to let you know that one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I want you to get ahead in the Word assignment so you can start thinking about the database, which is going to be a more difficult assignment from my perspective, because a lot of you may be familiar with Word, but they may not be familiar with a database program called Access. And for those that don't have Word document, they may have to use something else, which will complicate your assignment. So again, this is designed to help you with MS Word assignments, so you have a little bit more time to devote to your week 5 assignment. Again, in here it tells you all of the requirements or descriptions related to assignment. And I want to leave you with this last note, is the research paper that will be coming up towards the end of the course. So there is a lot to be done for the course. And it will be very important if you read the description, so you can see how they relate and what they are all about, what the assignments are all about. The next step after you finish with your syllabus review is actually go to the content area and look with on the week that the assignments are due. In this case, we're talking about week 4. So you open the week 4 tab or module, and you will see that other tabs show underneath that, the content activities. You can also open those one more time. You can click on the content and it will again open to other modules that may be hidden from view. So it's almost like a drawer. You open a drawer and inside that drawer there's another drawer, and what it does, it opens to more information. The ones I want to talk about is if you follow the normal workflow of the content, you will not only go through the course itself and get the important information, but as you develop that knowledge, it will help you towards developing or finalizing your assignment. The description of the assignment itself is very small. I have found that some students get in here and they get frustrated because they think that's it. Remember, these are placeholders of information. So this is only telling you what the description of the case is. You have to continue down the course to see more information about the assignment. So the next module you'll look is this one, optional tutorials. And to me, this is the more important one because it actually has samples of the tables that you will need to fill out for the assignment itself. So as you read, if you follow the normal flow, you would have finished week 3. You would have been in week 4, going through the contents. And there you would have read all the information regarding the assignment and other information that you would need to complete the assignment before you even got to the assignment tab, which is under the activities. So let me stop here for a second, talk a little bit about the tables. While the instructions give you a way to create the tables, the samples are here to show you what they should look like. It is your responsibility, however, to make sure that the samples meet the instructions. And by that I mean that even though the samples are here, there may be some variations between the instructions and samples. So it is important that you sit in there as you follow the instructions and make sure that any of the columns or column headings or rows are filled properly in accordance to the instructions. So now you see this is what table 1 is supposed to look like. I'm going to go to table 2, which is a more simpler table, and finally table 3. So now you have here samples of what those tables are going to look like. I wanted to also point out to you that each table is a little bit different in that if you look at this as a page, some are in landscape mode like this sample 3 here, but if you look at sample 2, it's in a portrait orientation of the page. And those have to be put into one document. I'm going to show you how to do that, so don't be concerned with that. So now that you have seen the samples as you continue to your readings, right, it will take you now to the activities. And you can see those activities here listed, or if you click on the tab, actually that's where we are. We are in the activity section. This is now the case study. So you have done your discussions, you completed your classroom readings, now you're in a case study. This is a pointer towards the assignment itself. It shows a little bit different, but it has the same attachments that are in the assignment tab, and it's a place where you can upload now your assignment. The big difference between this activity and the assignment tab itself is in the assignment tab, you actually see the rubric. My advice to you is that you follow the tab so you don't miss information, like it happened with Excel, where I had questions about what the Excel spreadsheet looked like when the information was already in the content. And that and the second thing is that as you fill out the instructions or you follow the instruction, use the instructions as a checklist. So as you now have a Word document with the tables on it, check every item in the instructions to make sure you have completed the assignment properly. And then just before submission, do go to the tab. Again, it's almost like the final step, right? And in there, now use the rubric I will use to grade you as your final checklist to make sure you do not miss anything. Now, why don't I advise you to just use the rubric? Because the rubric is really for grading, and there may be things missing in the instructions that may affect the rubric. So the instructions is a more complete way of completing the assignment, with the rubric being kind of the final checklist for you to see that everything was done. So that gives you a checklist at the beginning of the assignment, examples of what the assignment should look like, and then a final checklist before submission. I grade all my assignments strictly in accordance with the rubric. So if you meet all the requirements in here, your grades will be graded higher. But if you skip or you short or you miss instruction steps, and though I don't see those requirements meeting the rubric, your grades will slide. And I saw a lot of assignments submitted with Excel, not a lot, but some that were missing key instructions. Some of them were minor, like font sizes. In other cases, it was much bigger, like the absolute cell reference, which some of you missed in the final assignment. So again, and then once you're done with this checklist and you're sure that everything has been completed, you can add the file with your comments and submit the assignment here. If you're confident you did that properly, you can also submit it through the activities in week 4, like I showed before. Now, and that's all I have regarding where to find information for the Word assignment. You will find that this pattern of content to assignment is duplicated through all of the other assignments too. Anyway, have a good day, and I wish you success in your assignment.